They call it the quiet curse. You walk into a room, and while everyone else is fighting for the spotlight, you're looking for the exit. You've been told your silence is a weakness. You've been told that to succeed in this loud world, you need to shout. But what if I told you that your silence isn't a flaw? It's a mask. In the world of dark psychology, the person who speaks the least usually sees the most. Today, we aren't just talking about being shy. We are dissecting the introverts, the good, the dangerous, and the hidden habits that are keeping you trapped. Stick around, because by the end of this series, I'm going to reveal a psychological switch, a technique used by the world's most powerful figures to turn social anxiety into social dominance. If you don't learn how to control this, your greatest strength will become your silent prison. Let's get real. Being an introvert in a hyper-extroverted society feels like playing a game where the rules were written in a language you don't speak. The good habits, the hidden gold. Most people think introverts are just antisocial. They're wrong. You possess high observational intelligence, while the extrovert is busy thinking about what to say next. You are analyzing body language, tone shifts, and the unspoken tension in the room. This is the foundation of dark psychology, information gathering, the bad habits, the invisible chains. But here is where it gets dark, because you live in your head. You've developed a habit of overanalysis paralysis. You don't just think. You simulate 1,000 failures before you even open your mouth. You've become a master of self-sabotage by stealth. You tell yourself you're protecting your energy, but in reality, you're just hiding from the discomfort of growth. Why does this matter? Because the world treats silence in two ways. It either fears it or it ignores it. If you don't learn to bridge the gap, you will stay invisible. We need to distinguish between introversion and fear. Many of you watching this think you are introverted, but you might actually be suffering from a psychological freeze response. Dark psychology teaches us that when a predator or, in our case, a social situation feels threatening, the mind shuts down. The nice guy trap. Introverts often fall into the agreeable trap. You stay quiet, you nod, you don't want to cause trouble. You think you're being good. In reality, you are being predictable. And in the realm of psychology, predictability is the first step to being manipulated. If you want to move towards self-improvement, you have to stop being the observer of your own life and start becoming the architect. This starts with understanding your shadow self, the part of you that wants to speak up, the part that is angry for being overlooked, and the part that knows you are smarter than the people leading the conversation. Self-improvement for an introvert isn't about becoming an extrovert. That's a lie sold by cheap self-help books. You don't need to be loud. You need to be effective. The first habit we are going to break today is the internal monologue loop. Most of you spend 90% of your mental energy on how you are being perceived. Do I look weird? Is my voice too low? Dark psychology suggests a pivot. The external lens, shift that focus entirely onto the other person. Use your natural observation skills to find their insecurities. When you realize that the loud person in the room is often the most insecure, the power dynamic shifts instantly. But this is just the surface. We've identified the cage. Now, we need the keys. Now, I promised you a look into how to conclude these traits into a roadmap for success. Traits of the Sigma mindset. To use your bad habits and flip them into strategic silence. That commands respect without saying a word. We'll discuss the mirroring techniques specifically for introverts and how to escape the introvert's guilt. If you've ever felt exhausted after a 5-minute conversation, you cannot miss what's coming next. The way you recharge your energy is about to change forever. Your silence isn't a defect, it's a concealed weapon. But a weapon is useless if you don't know how to aim it. Most introverts spend their lives being social prey. They get talked over, ignored, or manipulated because their energy is focused inward. Today, we are flipping the script. We are going to explore the dark side of introversion, the traits that, when mastered, allow you to control the room without ever raising your voice. And remember what I mentioned earlier. At the end of this journey, I will reveal the switch, that one. Psychological trigger that turns your social anxiety into an aura of mystery and power. Let's dive into the habits that separate the shy from the strategic. In dark psychology, there is a concept called the information gap. Most people are terrified of silence. They feel an itch to fill it with meaningless chatter, revealing their secrets, their insecurities, and their plans. The power habit. As an introvert, you are already comfortable with silence. Start using it as a tactical pause. When someone asks you a question, don't rush to answer. Wait 3 seconds longer than feels comfortable. The effect? It makes the other person nervous. It makes them think you know something they don't. This is how you reclaim the high ground in any conversation. The bad habit to kill the apologetic presence. Do you find yourself saying sorry for no reason? Sorry, can I just say? Or sorry to bother you. Stop. Every time you apologize for your existence, you are training people to treat you as inferior. In dark psychology, this is called submissive signaling. Replace sorry with thank you. Instead of sorry for being late, say thank you for your patience. Shift the burden of the emotion onto them while you remain the stoic observer. The introvert's nightmare is being forced to be social. But the Sigma strategy is selective availability. Why are diamonds expensive? Because they are scarce. If you are always available, always replying to texts instantly, and always showing up to every event, your value drops. The self-improvement pivot. Use your introversion to build an aura of mystery. Dark psychology shows that humans are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully understand. By being selective about who gets your time, you trigger the scarcity heuristic in others' minds. They will begin to crave your approval because it is rarely given. The shadow side. Be careful. Scarcity can turn into isolation if you don't have a public persona. You need a social mask, a version of yourself that is polite, precise, and professional, which you put on like armor. This isn't being fake. It's being strategic. It protects your inner self while you navigate the world of noise. Let's talk about the self-correction phase. Most introverts suffer from negative mirroring. If someone is loud or aggressive, the introvert shrinks. To fix this, we use emotional anchoring. Before you enter any social situation, find a physical anchor ring on your finger, a coin in your pocket. Associate that object with a moment where you felt completely in control. When you feel the introvert's panic rising, touch that anchor. This is a basic but powerful dark psychology hack to reset your nervous system. The habit of observation versus judgment. Stop judging yourself for being quiet. Start judging others' performance. Instead of thinking, I hope they like me, start thinking, let's see if they are worth my time. This mental shift from object. The subject is the foundation of the self-improved introvert. We've deconstructed the cage. We've sharpened the weapon of silence. Now, it's time to step out into the light, not as a loud, fake version of yourself, but as the alpha introvert. Most people spend their entire lives trying to fix their introversion. They are wrong. Today, you stop fixing and start executing. I promise to reveal the switch, the psychological trigger that flips the script from being ignored to being feared and respected. In this final chapter, we conclude our journey through dark psychology and self-improvement. Pay attention, because the person you were at the start of this video is about to die, and the person you were meant to be is about to wake up. Communication is only 7% words. For an introvert, the other 93% is where the battle is won. Since you don't speak much, your nonverbal presence must be deafening. The stillness technique. In dark psychology, movement equals anxiety. Watch the most powerful person in any room. They move slowly or not at all. The habit. Stop the micro movements. Stop fidgeting with your phone. Stop tapping your feet and stop shifting your weight. The power move. Practice the predatory stillness when you are spoken to. Blink slowly. Keep your eye contact a fraction of a second longer than the other person. This projects an aura of high value and threat. It tells the world you are not afraid of the tension, the vocal floor, when you do speak. Don't let your pitch go up at the end of a sentence, which sounds like a question. Speak from your diaphragm. Keep your tone flat and decisive. One sentence spoken with conviction is worth more than an hour of extroverted rambling. Now, let's talk about the switch. In Dark Psychology, this is known as the observer's paradox. The switch happens the moment you stop being the one in the social situation and start being the one evaluating the situation. How to flip the switch. Instead of entering the room thinking, I hope I don't mess up, you flip the mental switch to, I am the judge. Imagine you are a king, queen, watching a play. Every person talking to you is an actor trying to impress you. When you adopt the mindset of an evaluator, your body language naturally becomes dominant. Your anxiety vanishes because you are no longer the one being tested, they are. This is the ultimate self-improvement for introverts. You aren't changing your personality. You are changing your position on the chessboard. We've covered the good, your observation, the bad, your overthinking, and the dark, your strategic silence. But how do you sustain this? Controlled exposure. Don't try to be a social butterfly. Choose one high-stakes event a week and practice the stillness. Intellectual superiority. Your silence is only powerful if people know there is a brain behind it. Read, learn, and master your craft. When you speak, speak with the authority of a master. The recharge ritual. Never apologize for needing alone time. Call it strategic isolation for your next move. The conclusion. The world belongs to those who can see through the noise. Being an introvert isn't a disability, it's the highest form of human evolution. If you have the courage to use it, you are the silent architect of your own reality. If this deep dive into dark psychology and the introverts mindset resonated with you, hit that subscribe button. We are building a community of thinkers, strategists, and silent achievers. Comment below with the word architect if you've stayed until the very end. It lets me know who is truly ready to change. Next week, we go even deeper into the dark triad and how to spot them before they spot you. Until then, keep them guessing. Stay silent. Stay powerful.